Tennessee Congressman and member of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, Congressman Tim Burchett. Congressman, great to see you. It was great to see you earlier this week on the Hill, and that was a little clip from my interview with your colleague and fellow committee member on oversight, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who has nothing but lovely things to say about you. How are you reading these developments? I know a few of the members on the oversight have already had a chance to view the FBI document. Now, this is the document that alleges a bribery scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden, who was allegedly paid $5 million by a Burisma executive when his son Hunter Biden was a board member on the Ukrainian gas company. First of all, I want to ask you how you read those developments. Congresswoman Mace said that she believes that those are credible, but obviously the next step for the oversight is going to be subpoenaing more bank records to follow the money trail there to corroborate the account from, again, this trusted, confidential human source within the FBI.
Well, my colleague Nancy Mace is very accurate in her praise of me and her assumption of what's going on with the president, who is then the vice president, the payoff from Burisma. That's very obvious. You know, we have $10 million that floated into Biden crime family accounts. I mean, minor kids through communist China and these other former Soviet bloc countries. It's very obvious what's going on. This family has been for sale for a long time, and it's just continued. And I guess the two things that really bother me, first of all, I'm not surprised that the national media will not cover this because they have so much invested in this president whose cognitive level is about that of a sponge cake. And then also just the fact that the obvious double standard by our Justice Department. You know, at some point, we got to really be serious about this and say, hey, Justice Department, y'all not going to do your job? We're going to start cutting your funds, and that's where Congress is supposed to be the purse of government, and we need to start acting like it. We need to start cutting off their money. Some of these alphabet agencies that refuse to do their jobs. This is complete corruption at the highest level. You know, the Chinese flying a 1,800 balloon literally over our country,
right?
Recording secrets, and we don't do anything. And
going back, Congressman, going back to the document for just a moment, I'm not sure if you've had a chance to review it just yet, but I wanted to ask you, what, if anything, you know about the involvement of Viktor Shokin, the former prosecutor general of Ukraine, who was mentioned in that document?
Yeah, I believe was he the one that the vice president said to fire, and then they obviously did. And, you know, it's what the irony of all that is. This is what they went after Trump for. I mean, it's the classic case of accuse your enemy of what you're doing, and they clearly were doing this, and we're being paid to do it, and yet no one seems to want to cover it. I mean, the Justice Department's been sitting on some of this stuff, I believe, for over 5 years now before they even will take a look at it. And they hide it under the auspices of an investigation, so they can't comment on it. And then you have to subpoena the head of the dadgum FBI to get him in there. And he's clearly not playing ball with us, but we know more than we're saying. And there's more of these documents that are out there, I've been told, from some pretty reliable sources. And I believe that's where more of it's going to come. It's not going to come as a trickle, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. It's going to be just a few machete wallops, because this is what's getting ready to come out, and this is just more of the same.
And that was the sweetener of the deal, right? The FBI agreeing to hand over additional FD 1023 documents as an agreement for the House Oversight Committee to drop those contempt proceedings. What can we expect to be contained within those documents, and how does that help with your investigation?
I think it's just going to be more of the same. It's going to show more corruption, and it's going to show more of these corrupt countries and organizations' cash flow and tie to the Biden crime family. As I've said many times, during crime school, mob school, the Biden family fell asleep during money laundering class, because it's very clear what's going on with this money and where it's going and who's being paid. I mean, you have minor family members, kids that are minors, that have LLCs set up that are getting paid for something. And they try to say, well, the Trumps did that. Well, the Trumps had sweatshops in China that were selling their cheap ties and things like that. I mean, it was clear what they were doing. But this is ridiculous. This is straight out corruption, bribery. They're getting paid to play. There is no product they're selling other than their souls, and they were pretty quick to sell them. And I suspect you're going to see the shoes are going to fall. It's going to be like an octopus, though. There's going to be more than one shoe that's getting ready to fall.
All right, Congressman Tim Burchett, we count on you to keep us updated on those developments on the Oversight Committee. We appreciate you spending a part of your Saturday with us. Thanks, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Sorry for my casual attire. My daughter is running in a barrel race today. So
we appreciate you making time for us and balancing work and family. That's what it's all about. All right,
yes,
have a great day and best of luck to her.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.